Um, wow.
Mm,
So what are we?
mm.
Round
22, 23 now?
this hurts me to
Oh,
say it.
round
20,
22,
Round
22 this coming
22.
weekend.
round
Oh
21.
well, it was
It
round
was round
23, wasn't
21.
it? It was round 20. No,
Oh,
okay,
sorry, sorry. Round, yeah, no,
Oh,
Damien's right. It was round 22. We're at
yeah.
23 now.
uh,
Makes it worse.
All right.
yeah,
Yeah.
bro. At least
Didn't
it's
really
going to
feel
be
like round 22.
over
Yeah,
quicker, though, right?
yeah, it didn't. Yeah.
Mm,
The
Round is
suffering
almost
is
over.
almost
oh,
over.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Where to from here?
Kia ora tātou te whānau. Thanks so much for coming back. Um, those score predictions last week were
Woo!
nowhere near,
Mm.
and
Mm,
I think the worst thing for me is like, you know, they could have turned up and played, and we could have played like crap, and that's exactly what happened.
Mm.
yeah.
So this one,
Just the whole
hmm,
go, bro.
this one, I've named it our season's over. Right, it's done. For me, our season was over when we lost to the Raiders. It was like a couple of weeks back. Zach Bruv
Yeah.
up the New South Wales Cup, boys. Yes, actually, we'll start off with that one, eh, boys? We'll start off with
Nice.
that one.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
score
Kicking.
was they smashed them. I don't have the score in front of me, but I saw it up on the Facebook. So to our New South Wales Cup boys, you guys are flying the flag. Awesome work. Awesome work.
Yay. Yay. Well done.
Yes.
Well done, boys. Um, just a shame we didn't have a couple more of them young fellas in their top team, in the Prem's team.
Mm.
Um, yeah, don't even know where to start. Friday night was just, and it was a home game. That was my this. Yeah, so many things just make it. It's just like it's just
Yep.
piled on. you know, Shawnee was
It's
back,
hard to find
Chance is back.
positives.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Hard to
Well,
find
And the,
positives.
I suppose a positive could be Ty, you were at the game. No,
mm,
not, yeah,
Yep.
sure. So you were at the game.
hmm
The crowd, bro. What was the vibe like before the whistle blew? What was the whole kind of vibe like down there?
Yeah, like I managed to get the second half of the New South Wales Cup game, and it wasn't too heavy the crowd, but in terms of like they were obviously winning. I'm pretty sure a lot of us fans thought this was going to continue.
Mm-hmm,
But then when
mm-hmm.
it started
Mm.
building up, like the crowd was good. Like for anyone that's been to a Warriors game, if this year or last year, like the atmosphere is mean as.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone, I felt good. I felt we're gonna be entertained, and yeah, well, obviously you guys all saw what happened. But
Mm.
I would say, and I think I looked on a lot of group pages. There was probably the most I've seen in terms of Warriors fans go home early,
oh
and
man.
that for me is like speaks to a lot of I think everyone's just fucked off. So
Mm,
yeah, there's a lot
yeah.
of fans that went home early, and
How how
we
how
stayed.
early how early are we talking, bro? Because I just want to throw my little 2 cents in there. There are a lot of people that leave 10 minutes before full time, whether we're winning or losing, just to get onto the motorways or the traffic and everything like that. So when did you start noticing the exodus? At what minute?
I think it was the very last Eels try. So I think we are
Okay.
still down. We only had 4 points, and they had gotten to 30. It was then.
Yeah.
It was that time everyone started leaving.
So
Far out.
when
Yeah.
Clint Gutherson went over.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but yeah, it was pretty much was that 30 to 4. You just started seeing people get up and leave, and I think that was
Damn,
like 20 minutes to go.
that was 20 minutes to go. Yeah.
Mm, no.
So yeah, that speaks to I guess a lot of our frustrations. But I enjoyed it, even though we didn't get the dub. I actually thoroughly enjoyed being there. Just yeah, obviously was screaming a lot of swear words during that game though.
Oh my
But yeah.
goodness.
But
Yeah.
Who do
yeah,
we
there's a lot of things I want to unpack, but I thought wait until we get into our Kōrero around the actual game. But yeah,
Mm,
the fans were good until obviously the score, the result went that way.
yeah. Yeah.
I
And I
mean,
mean, yeah,
hmm,
whether or not it's been a case of high expectations going into the season and because of last season and
hmm,
the everything that the boys clicked with last year. And yeah, okay, we had a high injury toll. Had just trying to get those combinations going. End of the day, last Friday night's game, there were it was just the fundamental mistakes that were being made, and it was just like,
Basic stuff.
wow, yeah,
Mm.
just the basics. And it was the Warriors of old, and I hate saying that sort of shit.
You got to call
They
it for what it
started
is,
getting their
bro.
head down. Yeah. Yeah. Just those incremental little mistakes that were kind of like were just like coach killers, you know, and thinking, fuck, I hope Webby's got a rabbit in that hat, man, because you best pull something out. Because it's just looking bad. Even before halftime, it was looking bad. And the Eels tries were soft, man.
Yeah.
That was frustrating, bro. That was frustrating as. The way they were just cutting us up, and I was just like, rah. Yeah.
We made them look amazing, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every try
Warriors
they
made the
scored,
Eels look amazing.
every try they scored
Yeah.
looked amazing. Lussick's try was amazing, as in Joey Lussick.
Yeah.
Dejan Arce just ran straight at nobody. There was no one there, bro.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like we
Straight
just
through.
don't. We're what's happened? What's happened to this team, guys? What's happened to that team that was there last year? They're gone. You know,
Yeah.
they're gone. And
Pretty much, bro.
and you know and it hurts you. It hurts you to be able to say it's the Warriors of old, but a lot of other fans were talking about how overhyped we were at the beginning of the season,
Mm.
and it's true. It's all come true. Massively overhyped. Hey, expectations
Yeah.
through the roof. Something about this team, whenever that expectation is there, and you've said it as well, Damien, we just
Sure
fold.
have.
We just fold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly,
like,
I was been saying this. So sadly, I've been saying this since the beginning, since the season kicked off. You know that the Warriors they struggle with expectation. I was really hoping to get proven wrong, but so far,
You called it, bro.
it's not happening.
Yeah. And
You
a lot
called
of
it.
the Aussie commentators at the start of the season, and even, getting close to the halfway mark, a lot of them were still saying that like the systems and the processes that Webby's got in place, once this team clicks, they're gonna be hard to beat. And when you kind of dig into that, and it's like, so yeah, what happened if we had the systems and processes and the belief and all the rest of it? Well, yeah, I mean, clearly there was a real lack of trust Friday night. The lack of comms, between players, like the way the Eels were just running through us, man. I was just like, oh my god, that was a fucking nightmare, bro.
Those lack of comms have been there all season defensively, bro. Like how many times have we had like 4 or 5 markers, and then someone's just darted out and scored a try, and it's just like, fuck, okay, why are we still doing that? Like players out of position or they're just soft as.
Yeah.
Where to
And
from here?
it's not like that, because the Eels were gang tackling as well. They had at least 3 tacklers in the tackles. But and again, they were dictating the speed, but they were just sharper. They were and playing smarter. And it's just like, oh man, come on. And one of the scariest signs through the season has very much been, and we've talked about it heaps, that whole when we're camped in the opposition 20, we just look lost. The options are just, non-existent, really. All the opposing teams know us. They know what we're going to try and roll out, and they just shut it down. And it's like, right. So I don't know if I was uncle. Yeah, the 4 more games, 5 more rounds. There's I like, we're not making the finals, and if we do, in all honesty, the way we've been playing, even if by some miracle we made it into 8, and I mean, this is just me, but I really don't feel like the Warriors deserve to be there.
Fuck no.
Not after
Absolutely
the
not.
last like month and a half, almost 2 months, the games that have gone, they've been close, and then we just kind of the evidence that you see, especially when we do our reviews, it's just like, bro, this isn't a championship team. It's like
Absolutely not.
or
It's not a
trying to
top 8 team,
build a
bro.
destiny.
Let's
Yeah.
not mince the words. You said, I mean, you've already said it's not a top 8 team. It hasn't looked. Name
Mm.
one time this season where we've actually looked like a top 8 team.
Mm.
Yeah. Just to give us a
Yeah.
little bit of stats: Warriors 6 wins at home, 4 losses at home, 2 wins away, 7 losses away. That's not a top 8 team. I'm sorry, it's just not. I'm just going to read out a couple of comments in here because Kelly said, just announced now on One New Zealand page, Sean Johnson announces retirement.
So this
Legally?
year is his final year.
End of the season. He's playing
Right.
through to the end. Yeah.
We'll have a look.
Okay.
Yeah, end of an era.
End of
Johnson
an
to
era.
retire. Shit.
Okay, well that makes selections, I suppose, all those conversations a lot easier. Because
It's
that
interesting.
was always a thingy hanging there. Is he going to come back? Is he not? Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
interesting. Yeah. Just want to talk on that briefly too. So as mentioned, I went to the game and I'll be honest, I was kind of peed off. Wasn't wanting to see any Warriors, but if you do, you do. But we thought, hey, we'll be smart and try and cut through the east stand to get back to where our car is. Now, dumb of me, I forgot that they go back through that way to the tunnel, right? So we got stuck watching them all come out, which was cool for my son. He got to see them. He said, oh, look. He didn't know the player's name. He's still learning. But he said, oh, look, there's Warriors players. But when Shaw Johnson came out, the credit to the man, even though they've just probably had one again, not one of, but again, another loss. He was there shaking everyone's hands, taking photos, still, being, I guess, a great sportsman
Nice.
off it,
Being professional.
But you could probably think now that we've gotten this news, I don't think this would have been the first start of it, but that probably was going on in his mind, around, should I be here, should I not be? But he was still a professional off the field, and he was a lot of kids were still loving him, and Shaw Johnson, he still gave them time. So
Yep.
for that type of person, give him respect. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
Oh,
there's
look,
a
as
lot
a
in
person,
terms of
bro,
game.
I respect him as a person. Absolutely. Like what he's done for the game in this country, what he's done for the game
Yeah.
internationally.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I respect him.
Yeah.
In those 80 minutes, bro.
Well, and that's where I want to come
Yeah.
to. It was my segue because I feel
Yeah.
I feel like I've been looking in a lot of groups talking about it, and I know I've been real critical of Johnson this year, but I'll be honest, I don't think it was his worst game in the weekend. There was definitely some poor decision making out there.
Okay.
But I guess being more close to the game, I actually saw a bit more of his game management. Now you probably didn't see it in terms of the sets and all of that, but he was out there chatting, he was out there talking a bit. Whether people were responding or not, that's a whole nother question. But I think for me, like one of the questions I had around was defensively, he doesn't aim up, and I think a lot of opposition's momentum kind of comes after it because the forwards run at him, and then it kind of starts being a domino effect. He was aiming up. I probably think this was the first time I saw him actually kick the ball and then chase it and actually try and whack a dude. Like there's a lot of things actually in the weekend that he did all right. But personally, I feel like one of the things, and I don't know if it's got to do with the injury or just him maybe still trying to find his feet, but when he starts running, and I'm not saying to run to open the line and break the line open, but when he starts running or getting deeper into the line or straightening up, you kind of start seeing the attack kind of open itself up. So if you watch the game back in the 60th minute, he actually took a run, didn't go anywhere. Secondly, he straightened up and it led to a try. Like I feel like that's probably been one of the one of many, I guess, things that in terms of watching Johnson now that I was like, it looks like I don't know. Obviously, his head may have not been here for the last couple of weeks. Due to him thinking about retirement, but I was like, man, I personally saw that and like he's still got the juice, but whether he still wants to be a part of it, obviously he's already made his decision on that. So I just wanted to reflect that because he got a lot of hate around being real shit on the weekend. I was like, I don't know, don't think he's solely to blame for that. There's a lot more out there to blame
But
for the loss.
isn't that one of the reasons why he became a Dally M halfback or a runner-up for the Dally M last year is the fact that when he does run it at that line, when he does go deep into the line and open up that offense, things happen, magic happens, and a lot of times this year he just hasn't done that. I mean, obviously in the last 10 minutes, probably in the game where, we scored, 3 tries in the last 10 minutes? I don't know. I was pretty much switched off by then. Switched off mentally. I was still watching the game, but like we've seen Sean do those sorts of things, right? But I think
Yeah.
what you said, whether he still has it in him to want to go again, that was always going to be the big question for this team. We had AFB season-defining season, DWZ, amazing season. Shaw Johnson, obviously, CNK had an amazing season. Can you go again and do it consistently?
Yeah.
We haven't had a team that can go again and do it consistently.
And
Yeah,
no
agreed.
doubt, off the end of last season and the season that SJ had, it's I guess when you're caught up in that and thinking, yeah, man, I could do it one more time,
The big ask.
but reality bites kind of thing, and you're that much older, a bit more wiser, and we said it right at the start anyway. It's like it's a long season, and
Yeah.
even niggly little injuries can play in the back of your head kind of thing, if you, especially in those clutch games when the pressure's on, and you want to win it more than anything, but yeah, it's just and it's a real shame. So Shawnee's retiring. You think, yeah, good on you, bro. That whole, maybe good. He got caught up in the hype of it from last year, thinking, yeah, one more round, I can do this. One more rodeo. Let's give it a go and see where it heads, kind of thing. It's just a shame. It's kind of, but and again, reality kicks in. That happens for all those players that are getting close to retiring. It's the whole want to do it for the team, want to do it for your family, whatever. And it's just a shame. It's kind of ended. Like, 4 more games. Hard to say, because put it this way, bro. If 4 weeks from now, Shawnee has a blinder every single game, it's just going to be like,
I don't know.
like,
I don't know.
geez, bro. It's going to be like, far out, bro. We'd be waiting all season for that shit. So yeah, I feel for the bro. I do feel for him. Right.
I think mentally, Sean Johnson probably could go another fucking 5-10 years fucking easy, but his body has not been the same this year. I'd love to know how many games he actually played when he's actually 100% fit, because he doesn't feel like, he doesn't seem like he's been 100% fit most of the season. I think his body's kind of let him down quite a bit. It'll be a hard decision for him, but I think it's probably the right one. I just hope that the Warriors management have got a bit of a plan in place for when this does happen. He wasn't on a big contract, so I don't think, he's going to free up a whole lot of salary cap or anything like that. But the Warriors are definitely going to need something for next season, because, there's going to be a lot of holes to fill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was on. Yeah, I'm not quite sure on that. And anyone in the comments can kind of do a bit of research. Yeah, I don't think it was a huge amount. I mean, it's more than all of us get paid, but
But from my understanding, he took a pretty modest contract in order to come back and play for the Warriors. So he wouldn't be on huge money.
And I suppose good segue into that is the next up would be Tohu, and what's going on there, because can that? I mean, let's be honest. If Johnson's body's broken, this guy's body is in bits, and
It's held together by tape.
It's literally held together by tape. And I know he's injured, but is he going to go another rodeo? Is he going to be like, yo, I'll come in? Or is he going to be like, fuck, I need to hang this up?
And to be fair, Tohu's been around a long time too,
Long time.
Yeah, he served the club, served us well, served the Storm well, served the Kiwis well, so I think, distinguished career, reached those heights, but there's always going to be a tail off kind of thing. And again, like Tohu makes it back for these last 4 games or whatever. If he don't, well, put it this way, if he don't, then it's not really a surprise kind of thing.
No, Tohu's gone for the rest of the season, bro. He won't be coming back.
Oh,
yeah.
The
Had a nice blue
season-ending
cast
injury.
on.
Yeah. No, he's not coming back for the season, but is he coming back next year?
That's the question.
That's the one. That's the one I want. And if he wants to make that decision now, it'll be a lot better for the selectors and the recruitment.
Yeah.
If he can actually be hand on heart and be, I mean, I don't know what he's, like you, I don't know how his body's holding up or if he still has the desire to play. What do you guys reckon at home? Tohu stay on or but then Jesus hell, man, we're like losing troops left, right, and center.
That's
We
right.
are
Being
in
gutted.
restructure mode right now.
Mm.
And I thought we would be going we would be advancing this year like everybody else off the hype of last year, but we've dipped massively.
Gutted, eh? Well, well, I don't know, defense or whatever, but we kind of said that, right? Because a lot of players were coming off contract at the end of this year. We kind of said that this is probably the year to win it, and then kind of leave on a high and start with a whole new team. So unfortunately, only half of that's kind of taken place.
Everyone's leaving, but we haven't got the trophy.
Yeah, I reckon, bro. Far out.
Oh,
But
I guess
how
the
how
flip
naive
side.
how naive were we, eh?
hey, we've got to live that fantasy out somehow,
Yeah.
Yeah, guys booking
Yeah.
grand final
Our
tickets.
premiership window is a bit smaller than what we anticipated,
Yeah. I guess the flip side to that though is, and maybe I'm being a bit too optimistic with this, but yeah, with the clean out that's coming, obviously it's going to create that opportunity. Those New South Wales boys, if the club has the salary cap to reach out to whoever, cover going after marquee players, if again, if they've got the money for it, then yeah. So the opportunity's there,
But
the whole.
It is August, bro.
Mm.
We needed pretty much should have been having these conversations a little bit earlier than August, I reckon. Yeah, because like those other players would have been already signing or even talking, and it kind of feels like to me all of this stuff is happening just all of a sudden. Jazz, flipping Walker that hasn't been officially announced. SJ,
Well, just
Tohu.
on that, I seen there's it's got Walker's denied reports. It's just an article that's been written an hour ago. So
Okay.
maybe
Okay.
he might be staying.
Yeah.
It's on News and Herald.
Okay. And I do like what you're saying, and a lot of people are saying, we've got all these cup boys coming up, but they're still boys, bro. They need like at least 2 seasons to be kind of seasoned professionals, like too many of those young boys coming through. I love them. I love Sifakula. I love Leatawa, Moalagram Taufa. He made some mistakes on the weekend. Like I've said before, I don't mind those guys making mistakes. Yeah. It's the seasoned guys who make the mistakes that piss me off. So I love all those guys coming through, but that's a long-term play. That's not going to fix our problems next year.
No, you can't expect them to be the Mr. Fix-It, it's not going to happen like that.
So it might be
100%.
going to market for a couple of those key positions. And Walker's a bit fragile at the best of times at that 13, if we're going to have that 13 in there. So who do we get in there? Yeah.
Again, and I just want to go on, Sean Johnson obviously was on a big contract, but for him to say it now, because he obviously could just wait to the end of the year and just said it, but I think he's trying to make it easier for them to make decisions on, what should they get going long term. So if it is Tohu's, decision to retire, then maybe hopefully saying it earlier could help the selectors, like you said, Nick. Well, yeah, we'll see.
Ooh. And Dallin's out of contract next year as well, right? At the end of next year, or is it next year?
I think it's the end of next year, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
I think he's still got one season left under his contract. But hey, we've seen players break contracts plenty of times.
Yep.
Yeah, bro.
What we need is a whole bunch of NRL players to come forward and say that they're homesick for New Zealand.
We got one.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
You got one. We need a few more, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
gonna fix. He's not gonna fix our problems, guys. Unfortunately,
No,
he's
not
he's
at all.
not. He's not gonna fix the problems that we've got through key positions in that club. So yeah, great having him in. Great for his leadership. Hopefully, he'll kind of get everyone attitude sorted. He's only one player.
That's true.
He's injured at the moment. He might be thinking, "Oh shit, all the boys are leaving. I might stay at the Panthers for another year."
Go see Uncle Ivan. Hey,
Oh,
let's have
stop
a
it.
talk, eh?
Stop it. Stop it.
All right. All right.
Stop it.
Yeah. I guess just to add what you were saying before, Nick, about those New South Wales Cup boys. Yeah. Young. And we have talked about this before, but I think it's like it takes at least 100 NRL games to settle in, kind of thing. So, that's at
4
least
seasons.
3+. Yeah.
But that's
4
playing
seasons
every
to
game
kind of
as
sludge
well.
away.
Yeah, that's playing
Yeah.
every game. Like they're not going to probably play every game.
Mm.
Well, at this rate, they might.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
yeah. Trying to find the perfect mix.
Yeah,
Well,
What's that,
so
Ty?
I'm gonna be dark. I'm gonna be a bit dark here, but like we're talking about all these players leaving, and hopefully we can sign people. But given the year we've had, why would you want to come to the Warriors?
Oh, stop, bro.
I'm just being honest here, but it's a question. What's here?
They do mana wave training. They do mana wave training. Nah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Nah, come on. Come on, bro. It's not that bad.
I don't say
well.
I want to go back to what you're saying, Damien. Around maybe it is trying to find people that might be a bit more homesick to come to New Zealand, but say there's a greater reason, I guess, for it. But it's like you're looking last year, you'll be like, yeah, there looks like there's culture there I want to be a part of, but what am I looking right now?
Can I just say one thing? Zach Bruff says they got good pies here. Actually, a real funny one. I did put it out to the whānau last week. I was like, would we get Deja and Asi back? It was like, nah.
Yeah.
It's still a no.
And then hello. Yeah.
It's still a no, bro.
He must have been watching. He must have been watching.
Yeah. He was
I'll show these guys.
This is good motivational. I'll show this to the team. Make those predictions.
Oh, and what?
Like, hello.
What? Because our scores are so high is because there was no Mitchell Moses.
Or Junior Polo. Or Bailey Simonson.
Or Junior Polo.
Imagine if they were playing.
But even without them there, those Eels forwards, oh my goodness. But there was they had a real amazing. Yeah, but they had a real blue patch where they just were ripping into us, man, and it was just like
they look real relaxed coming out of that coming out of those changing sheds. They look real relaxed and real kind of like at ease kind of thing.
Yep.
And I thought we looked a bit tense. I mean, Sean came out, had a big smile on his face and everything, but I think we looked a bit tense. And I thought we were going to get into, maybe we thought we'd get into an arm wrestle and they'll just fold. Man, they were just on us.
Yeah.
Yep.
All game. It did kind of ease off in the second half, but the damage was already done in the first half, and just, it was just like far out, man. Yeah, and like, Gutherson stripped the ball off of Dillon, and it's just like, oh, man. Look, and then when he got in and scored that try, that second attempt, just reading Dillon's body language, he was just like, he was still gutted. He got stripped there from that try, and it was just like, oh man, we're not in a good place here. But it kind of it feeds into what Ty was talking about the identity, that what is our identity? There was nothing there Friday night, man, and it's just like, damn, a whole lot of soul searching's got to go on, if they want to make any decent attempt. Like, our season's gone. There's There's no way
Done.
they're coming back. But they've got 4 rounds just to fucking put some heat on those other teams, and just kind of stick it to them.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
also
fingers
get
crossed.
some pride in their jersey too. Feels like
Yeah,
a
fuck yeah.
bit
Yeah.
dry for pride at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
And talking about pride and talking about their identity, just me and again, I'm not watching every single player every single minute, but like the ones for me that felt like they were giving it their all was obviously Mitch Barnett. Like, not even just when he's doing his carries, you can see him like trying to, get the troops going. Even when making mistakes, he's one of those ones going over and trying to get the boys up. And the other one was Roger. I felt Roger was actually, especially I feel like he's taken on that older leader role quite well. Like you can see him when something happens with one of the younger boys, he's the one going over and trying to talk to them. So I kind of felt those two boys were in it. And not to say no one else was in it, but it just looked like a lot of individual efforts. It didn't look like collective efforts going out there. And you could just tell with the body language, like we were just not in it. And going back to the identity stuff, one of the things that I noticed, and I really noticed with Joe Offengoy, he was giving it, man, like tackles. He would obviously refs pull up if you put your hand in your face. If you go watch him, he was trying, man. He was trying to he was trying to actually do a few things to kind of piss the Warriors off. And what I kind of hated about it is that like there was no reaction. Not to say you need to react and get angry of it. It was just more like there was a lot of just taking it on the chin. And there's a specific part where I think it was Penasini did a massive hit, or not a massive hit, but just kind of hit one of our players. I think it was Dalen. I can't remember. Was it Roger? Anyway, put him into the ground. Like you could see head on the ground. All the boys just watch, and I'm like, man, that's not a team that's like this is brotherhood. We're playing for each other. It just felt like they were just taking it, all good. And maybe it's kind of Webby's thing saying, don't worry about that shit, worry about the game potentially. But it just felt like, oh man, it was kind of like we're just taking it. It felt like we're just taking it.
That is part of the game. That is part of the game.
Yeah.
Getting up and being like, yo, like watch Penrith, when someone does a late hit on Cleary, bro, they're all in on their player, right? They're just like, don't touch our halfback. They're just like, this is my brother, I'll die for him. And you're right, Ty, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it in this game. I haven't actually seen it for a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So that's what I saw out there. And like the only time we probably said something was the squirrel grip when Dalen put his hand up and got grip. But it's like other than that, it just felt like we were taking it, and I feel like that's to me speaks to like the attitude and culture. And I don't know, obviously there's been some incidences throughout the year of AFB and a few things, but I do my now new theory, or kind of you guys have been talking about it. I think it's just because the expectations were probably high, and now they're like, "Fuck, we're not living up to them." Who are we? I feel like maybe that's kind of gotten in front of them, and now we're starting to see them question themselves, and question themselves every week. So yeah, that's just kind of my observation from now being at a game.
Yeah, questioning themselves, but also the people next to them as well. There's not a lot of trust there either.
Yeah.
Doesn't look.
And again,
like
they're just funded. Yeah, they're fundamentals. You want to, because at the crux of the game, you got to trust your mate. On either side of you, and whether they're backs or forwards or the, your star halfback or I don't know, but you just gotta you just gotta know within yourself. Yeah, the bro's on. We'll it's gonna be hard yards, 80 minutes of hard yards. It always is, but he's got my back and I got his. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
We were talking about that months ago. Seeing glimpses of it, and it was coming through, and then it would disappear, and then it would come through, and then disappear. The whole season's been like that. It's just like, fuck, man. Just wanna see some consistency, and yeah, frustrating as a fan, to see because and it kind of it feeds into what Tans has said all season as well, because we believe in them. We love them for what they do and what they represent. But yeah, it's just not there. It definitely wasn't there Friday night. And
Richard,
maybe that. What's that?
Sorry, bro. Richard says,
No,
Jacko says the Warrior DNA since 2011 has returned after a great 2023. Not the 2011 DNA, Richard says. And Tanya says, good point, Ty. I haven't seen our boys give it back this whole season. Yeah, you're right, Tons.
And I guess, for me, and we've been harping on this tree or like this thing all year. It's like most of the game is attitude, but in order to have, attitude comes from trust. You want to play for the guy next to you. You believe in what you're doing. You believe in what's going on.
Yeah.
And I feel
Yeah.
like, we could talk about why certain shape didn't work out or why they didn't make certain defensive reads, but it's like if that ain't there, like there's no point talking about what to do do next. You don't have the foundations to actually play the game. So yeah. Because there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot, and I should stop looking at online groups that are talking about little certain points, and I see them too. But I'm like, if you got a team that doesn't want to play together, you can communicate all that shit of how to do better, but they're not going to listen. They're not going to respond. So
Yeah.
we need to start there.
So the headspace is already not where it's meant to be for whatever reason. If there's external things going on outside of the club, or I don't know, even in the club, in the team kind of thing. But they're just being switched on when they need to be, prior to the game. The whole build up to the trainings and all the rest of it. If come game day and they're off, they're going to get caught out. That's what opposing teams are going to do. And the Eels were a classic example of it. And it's not like, again, don't want to be fucking singing their praises, but they got a sniff. They knew, they knew pretty much within the first 5 minutes that, okay, this isn't the Warriors that we played the last couple of seasons. They've kind of given us a hard time, and they just, fuck. Such a hard game to watch. Yeah,
it was.
Frustrating. Yes.
100%.
Well,
And,
we've kind of regressed this season, guys, and I think we've said it at the
Mm.
beginning of the season how we don't rate other teams, but one of those other teams is the Dragons, who just beat the Storm, and
yeah.
everyone was criticizing the fact that we got the wrong Penrith coach last year because Serraldo was having a season with the Bulldogs, which I thought that would happen to us last season. I've said this before. I thought that last season would go through this massive clean out. SJ will be gone. All these players will be gone. We're getting all this massive recruitment, and then this season we start rebuilding. That's exactly what's happened to the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs have been so good in the recruitment and so good in their structures this year. I haven't watched a lot of their games. I don't need to. I've been watching all the highlights and seeing a lot of posts online. Best defensive record at home, 9 wins and 0 losses. I mean, like, bruh,
Wow.
they will probably be in the top 4 this year instead of us. So maybe next year is going to be our clean out restructure season, and it's going to be a couple of years of pain, guys, before we're even going to be back in that top 8 again.
Yeah, keeping in mind too, it's going to take a couple of years for Webby to get the team he does want. Every new coach come in and they inherit a team, and it does take a few seasons to sort it out the way they wish. So yeah, that's going to start now, pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Hasler. Where's he sitting? Titans are 11th.
Yeah.
One thing Titans and Dragons got in common. They got 2 speedy number 1 fullbacks, man. They got some pace on their back 5.
Something we generally don't. We're pretty slow.
And if you watch those,
I didn't even. What's it? Go, Toy.
I was going to say, just looking at some of those teams like Dragons and Titans, and I'll be the first to put my head up and say I thought Dragons would come last. So I was totally wrong on that thing. But I watched the Titans game in the weekend against the Broncos because I shouldn't say this, but I feel a little bit easier with our season because Broncos are having a shit season too. So I feel a little bit easier. Yeah, so that feels good.
The only silver lining to our season is the fact that the Broncos are below us.
Yeah, you knocked us out. Now you guys are a lot behind us. Yes, but I watched the game against the Titans, and like honestly, the reason why Titans are doing well is because they look up for it. Like that's all I can say is that they don't actually execute everything really well. I think they're way better than us in terms of execution, but they look up for it. And you got a Broncos side that was pretty much in a desperate situation like us that actually came back and then folded. Like again, I feel like that talks to a resilience of a team, a culture of a team. Then obviously they potentially might not make the top 8, but I feel like that's what we kind of haven't seen throughout the year. We've seen it at bits and parts, like Penrith game, Bulldogs game. Some of our wins, it's just like, man, sound like a broken record, but that just doesn't feel like we seem up for every single game. And yeah, how do we get that? How do we gain that back?
Well, that up for it attitude is what we had, bro. So maybe we're just resting on our laurels from 2023, thinking that, we're going to bring that energy into 2024, and it just has not worked. Last year was a new coach. Maybe the Titans are having a Webby moment with Hasler coming in, right? Maybe this is their Warriors season this year and next year. I mean, look, I shouldn't really care about other teams, and I'm not. But there's definitely some truth in a new coach coming in, new systems, new energy, people up for it. But maybe, somehow Webby's got to instill that back into the 30 odd that's going to be coming in for next season, because this season is cooked. It's cooked. It's over.
It'll be a good test for Webby. The whole the like, because obviously there's more learnings from losing than there are winning. It's the whole Webby's like, I still back him. I like Uncle, and I like what he brings to the team, to the club.
I don't want him to leave.
No, he's same. I'm hoping he does hang around. Some really, really harsh lessons this season. But yeah, heading into next year, it's there'll be some there's definitely like stuff to be learnt and implemented for next year. But like you're saying, Nick, it's like how exactly is the squad going to look rolling into next year? How is it going to look in 4 weeks' time? Come that last round. It's just been real disruptive. The injuries, the lack of player availability for whatever reason. Trying to find that consistency. We've just struggled. We've struggled all season.
Here's one for you guys. Knowing what you know now after 22 rounds, would you still would have brought Roger in if you're one of the selectors?
Yeah, I'm confident. Say yes. And I say that, I don't think as much as I've highlighted he's been good on attack, there's still been some defensive reads, and I can see a lot of people saying you should put him at fullback, he's out of position. But what I saw in the weekend, which gave me the positive sign, is that he tries to, like, if someone's making a mistake, he tries to be that guy next to him saying, hey, you're right. Well, I don't know what he's saying, but he's trying to actually be that leader that I think that's what we needed. So just on that accord and him, I feel like he's slowly and gradually gotten better throughout most of the season. So I would have personally picked him. But yeah, I don't think, again, it comes back to that one person can make an impact, but also I don't think they can also be the only reason why we win. Same reason being one person can make an impact, but isn't always the reason why we lose. But I do think he was going in a positive for the Warriors, just obviously not our season.
Yeah, and to be fair, Rog, even when he came to the club, before he got the captaincy and stuff, he was always that guy that was always kind of geeing up the boys but leading by example. I remember watching an interview where he was talking about the whole, when he was given the captaincy, it kind of he kind of, it was like a role that he didn't kind of step into straight away. He thought he had to kind of change things to kind of to lead. Whatever those expectations were, he had to kind of just leave those behind and just carry on playing his own natural game. And his own natural game is the encourager, is the guy that to pick the boys up, is to lead by example, is to kind of create something out of nothing. That's Rog, and that's how he plays. I'm like Ty. I would have started him, bro. He's too good not to, he's too good not to have in the starting lineup. But who knows, going into next year, if he's still going to be that centre, or what's happening with Chance. If Chance is going to be the fullback, number one, and then whoever's number two, number three, because Rogers, I'd have him any day of the week, bro.
Yeah, I completely agree. The utility value alone is huge. The fact that he can play centre, he can play wing, he can play fullback, all at a pretty high level. Admittedly, he's still learning centre, but still at a high level. That's huge. And like as you were saying, Real, with his training, he is probably the hardest worker at training, and that rubs off on people. So for those reasons alone, absolutely, I think it's a great signing. However, I think there are quite a few fans and potentially coaches or whatever the fuck that thought that RTS was going to come into this team and be like almost a one-man winning crew. He's going to fucking win all the games by himself. That was never going to be the case. He had stepped away from League for X amount of time. He's not going to come back the same player. So you can't be expecting him to come back and just be Mr. Fix-It and Mr. fucking Wonderful. He's going to win all these games for the Warriors. But you bring him back for the next generation player, how much he's going to bring them up. So that's my thoughts.
Do you think though sometimes that like because CNK is going to be injured, he's going to get that spot? Or is Tane Tuopiki going to have a chance of that spot too? Because I'd love to see. I'm a huge fan of him. Go back through last year. I've been talking about this guy. When I saw him in Cup, him, Keanu Kinney, they all got the same vibes. Those types of small, rapid players. I just want to see him on the field. I just don't feel like he's getting enough. He's kicking over at the Cup team. Like where does that leave the bro?
Yeah, does he have more versatility to him than just playing fullback? Every time he's played for the first grade team, he's only been fullback. So can we chuck him in other positions? Can we see how he goes as a winger, as a half? Is that what the off season is going to be for Tane, to see what other positions he can play? He can play fullback at a really high level, but so can two other guys as well.
Yeah,
bro.
I agree. Might have to look at other positions. But I think just want to go back to RTS. I think one of the and it's not his fault, because we know that his ability and he can break open and all of that. But I kind of feel like we resorted to the 2018 RTS, the Dalium RTS, where we rely on him too much. And I feel like that's we like want him to break open and do something wonderful. And when he does it, all of us fans are like, like wow. But it's like then we start moving away from our systems. We start, getting to a place when he's not there, it doesn't work. And I feel that's kind of like the blessing and curse of having him, because he's so powerful and what he does is so great that when we base ourselves around him, we lose our identity and shape when he's gone. So that's kind of, I don't know, maybe we have to rethink about how do you kind of utilize him, but keep to our systems as much as we can.
Yeah, that'd be so hard to rely on him. Well said, Ty.
I think he's even said it as well. I watched one of those vlogs he's done with the Warriors. He says, his attitude whenever he whenever he used to get onto the field was he had to be the hardest working one. He had to be the one that was doing all of the hit ups, all the runs, or get us out of the red zone. He had to be the one, like he's a stats guy, so his stats need to be up there all the time. But at 31, and like Jacko's already said it here, RTS is a fan favorite, but he is 31. We have him for 2 more years. We want to try for an unlikely premiership next year. He is a good signing. So yeah, I agree. I agree with that, man. And you can see it. You can see it when he's playing fullback, that he's the one that's out there trying to make stuff happen, trying to take the hit ups. CNK, actually, shout out to CNK. Look, first game back in how long, and he runs over 300. Some hard carries, Mr. Reliable. So shout out to CNK, man.
I know.
But even our back three got shut down. Sorry, Todd.
Yeah.
Even our back three got shut down over the weekend. And they were doing what they've always done, kind of thing. And again, opposition just know what's coming, and know what they need to do to stop it. Not, and I mean, I love it. I love watching Dallin just throw himself at the line, kind of thing. But when you got 3 defenders knowing that you're going to run it straight, and it's almost like the 3 of them like, sweet, we got this guy. And it's happening all night, and it's just like, oh man, the yards were just they were the definition of hard yards. Friday night, the boys just weren't earning them, and, the Eels were just shutting it down. It's just like, mate.
Yeah, I don't. I just want to touch on CNK too because I feel like I think there's a perfect argument to talk about. Because of Roger's ability and what he can do with the fullback, he can be there, and I definitely think we know he's a good fullback. But tell me what other fullback is running 300 meters besides a Joey Manu? Like, there's not much of the game besides Roger, Joey Manu, and maybe a Tedesco and someone else. Like, this guy's doing 300 at fullback, and people are still trying to get him out of position. I'm like, man, what else do you want from him?
What does he have to do?
And there's another frustrating thing about this team. I think we're number one in terms of forwards eating up meters in this competition.
Yeah,
We're number one. Yeah.
we're
And
up
we've
there.
got a
Warriors
we've got a,
force.
we've got a fullback that
Wow.
runs 250 plus meters when he's fit. Yeah. We've got a Dally M fullback playing centre. We've got all these stats, right? All these numbers and all these stats, and we're sitting at freaking 13th on the table, on the ladder. What are we? Yeah, we're 13th. And we just had a disappointing, shocking season. It's just been, I can only name a couple of areas, a couple of games where it's been like, yo, this is us, and all the rest of it's been a bit lackluster. So it's just another little frustration to add into all the other frustrations. I'll read out a couple of comments. Jacko here, CNK is right up among the hardest working players in the NRL. Yep.
It's fair.
Well said.
Well said. Tahi, if we get the pack doing their individual tasks, he can be a roaming player, talking about RTS. Yeah, there was this talk about this roaming player at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, haven't seen it, but there was talk of it.
Seen it. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I don't think that was the plan. I think that might have just been talk, because if that was the plan, then yeah, I think we would have seen it. So he's obviously stuck to the game plan, the structures, the whatever the attacking coach. Who is our attacking coach anyway? Does anyone know?
Good question.
I don't know if because I remember when we talked, he said they don't have an attacking and defense coach. They just have coaches for certain things. So it looks like Stacey Jones is special team, and you've got Richard Agar and Slade Griffin. So my assumption would be Slade would be more the defensive and Richard Agar, but I don't really know his history. But they don't have a tackle defense. So maybe he's changed it to like, we want a kicking team, and then we want a backs coach.
Is this the problem?
Well, no. It's well, I don't know because I'm not a coach, but he might be part of that whole positional play that they do in soccer, where they don't actually have an attacking and a defensive coach. Hear me out on this one, bear with me. What they have is, depending on where the ball is in the field, right, that can activate certain things. So obviously, you're down in the red, then the centers of the back five, the centers and the wingers get the ball, right? But depending on what tackle it is at what side of the field, will activate certain things. Now, in order for that to work, you need everything needs to be on. Like everyone's timing, everyone needs to be well drilled in that. Now, last season, what we saw was kick to the corner, that Penrith system, kick chases, Rocco Berry, and we're just going to keep them down there. So that's like one thing to activate. I haven't seen any other things consistently to actually talk about anything else, but yeah,
in terms of set, say.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Just a theory, like this coaching system that they're trying to employ, is it confusing players? Do they need to make it more simple?
Well, and again, this is probably a bit more nuanced because I was at a conference when he mentioned all of this. So he kind of said that he wanted his coaches to make sure that they took on what was best for them. So instead of doing a general attacking coach, he wanted to make sure that someone like Stacey, good in transitions, can help them with the kicks and all that, which is, there's a big question around there if that's actually helped this year. But
with the bomb,
I think he's trying to say, like, with the coaches he has, he wants to make sure that they focus on the right parts that their skill sets are aligned with. So for me, it made logical sense. And we saw last year how that all played out in work. But, again, there's a question this year that there's a lot of things that didn't look like they work. So I wonder if there's a need to review who's looking after what.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Justin Morgan, to my knowledge, is the only coach that's left, and I would never have rated Justin Morgan as much of a coach, but fuck, is he the missing link for them?
Mm. Yeah, because
Um,
don't know, bro. Don't know.
Jacko here says, let's be real. A clean out of assistant coaches should be considered. Great players are not always even average coaches. Example, Mark Ram and Colin Meads. Okay.
True.
Stacey Jones, attacking coach apparently.
Oh wow.
Well, on
Makes a
the
bit concerning
Warriors thing,
for
I was gonna say on the Warriors thing, he's got him under special teams coach. That's what his official title is.
Special teams coach.
Yeah, special teams coach.
Just going back to
Yeah.
the Kōrero around this whole coaching structure, positional play. There's a big thing happening over in Europe where I am right now about how the game of football is becoming robotic and boring. And the big coach that is responsible for that is the coach of Manchester City, whose name is Pep Guardiola. And a lot of things that Penrith are doing, I can see the structures happening from what Pep Guardiola has instilled pretty much into his team, and all the other teams are copying it, right? Every team's got this way of structure, and it's becoming real robotic. Now, Seraldo came out the other week saying that he admires Pep Guardiola, and he's implemented a lot of things into the Bulldogs. This is a complete segue away from Warriors talk because we don't even have really much of a structure. But I don't want to see the game of league turning into this boring, structured, monotonous, robotic thing that it kind of in some ways it is in some games. I still like to have that free flowing kind of, backdoor kind of not too many stupid offloads, but I kind of feel like since Webby's come in, we definitely have gone away from some of that stuff. The odd offload happens, but even then, I think it's structured. I think when Lasik passed it to he scored their try and did the old mana wave. Even that was a structured offload to Mitchie Barnett. So yeah, this is just a segue into if coaches start getting into this whole structured play and everything, we might in a couple of years' time know who's going to win this game even before the bloody ball's been kicked off, which is not what sport's about. Come on, there should be a little bit of freedom going on there, right?
Yeah, because I was gonna say, bro, the Storm. Well, while you were saying that, just like the Storm, their processes, they're in their robotic style of kind of grinding teams down.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. And Jacko's just said that as well. The same was said about Storm years ago when teams copied their wrestling stuff. That's a bit different. That's a little bit different, Jacko. That was like a technique. What I'm talking about is actual structured play on the field kind of thing. And I've seen Penrith's Instagrams, and they've got plays, and I think a lot of teams have got plays for like where they are in the field and stuff, but they've got a lot of plays that they execute. And like I said, in order for this to work, team's got to be on. Like team has to be switched on. It's almost like telepathic. That's where we are now. This is the line this is the line for where that ball is at that moment, and you're not part of the line. You're nowhere near it. Yeah. So it's almost like you don't even talk about. You don't have like a 7 going here short. You're open. It's like boom. That's the structure. And when it doesn't go off, then the coach just goes mental. Tanya, is that our problem? Are we overly structured? I don't even know if we're even structured, Tanya, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think we are. Don't know, Tanya, but attitude seems to be the main problem. Kia ora, Jacko. Tahi, SJ was playing injured for a long period, so there was minimal team practice with developing timing at the early stage of the season.
Yeah, true. He missed a lot of training.
Yeah, he didn't train because of that Achilles.
Also, our middles were injured, so combinations on D couldn't develop. Okay, Tahi. Bro, we should get you on sometime, Tahi.
Yeah. And I just want to point out, and I think I just looked at the comments, and Jacko says structure like you're talking about is in every team. Yeah, I feel like, I'll be honest, like if you go down to grade football, most people, well, obviously it's not professional, but most people should know if you're a second row, you know the lines you're running, you know the sets you're running. So I think most teams have got a structure. I think what you're talking about a little bit there, Nick, and I've been watching as much as I can Bulldogs game over the last couple of weeks. Well, not last couple, they're to buy, but it seems like they're trying to like try and play a kind of game where it's like less error football. I think that's what you're talking about. It's like it's not as it's not as crazy offloads and crazy things going on. It's like less errors, but that's when
high percentage,
less flowing, high percentage and kind of can
football.
become boring.
Mm.
And I think Storm with their tackle technique, they were kind of the ones that kind of mastered that, and a lot of teams like Penrith have mastered it. But I think what you're talking to, and this is a little bit of me speaking out into the ether here, I think we kind of need to look at how we play, kind of like I like what basketball call it. It's like concept playing. So when we reach certain points, we're not worried about we don't have to think about our options. We really know if one thing happens, we do the reaction to it. It feels like when we're running our plays a lot, it's like we get to a place and we're like, oh fuck, we'll just do something, or we'll go for that kick.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. We don't know what we have as options. We just kind of somewhat looking like we're winging it sometimes. But I could be
they look quite lost sometimes too.
Yeah.
Like they get into those situations and they're like, fuck, what do we do now?
What do we do now? What do we do?
And for me, I think it was last week when I saw it a lot, was that when you've got your forwards yelling at your halves, that's what's questioning me, because your halves should know everything, but your forwards are looking at them going, where should I be? I'm like, oh fuck, this is scary. Very scary. So yeah.
It's happened more often than not this season where the wrong player has got the ball out of the ruck. Have you guys noticed? It went to the wrong player, and it could have been CHT, it could have been Walker, it could have been Jazz. I've seen it happen where they've got the ball and they've just gone to ground. And that to me is like, what's he doing getting the ball at that time? He knows he shouldn't have the ball, and he's had to go into a tackle just so that we can reset again, and it kills that flow.
Yeah.
And the other teams look at you and go like, bro, what are you guys up to, bro? You guys don't even know what you're doing. So the confidence gets Tahi, bro, winging it too many times for sure. The confidence, when that happens, it takes all the sting out of the attack.
Yeah. And I think I said this a while ago too, but for me it's always I just want to see the boys pull off a really strong defensive game for the duration of the game. Like because there were times last year where our defense, especially on the line, was outstanding.
Solid.
With a full 80.
Yeah, and they were solid, and it was just like bits and pieces this year, but sadly it's been more the defensive patterns we've been trying to run, they've just fallen apart. It's apples and oranges when you think about last year's defensive efforts to what we are this year, and like what you're saying before, Nick, about like our forwards so our forwards have the highest
run meters.
See that
in the NRL this season. So I saw this is from the NRL. This is from the NRL fan page. This is from the NRL or the Fox Sport has got the Warriors at some, I don't know, someone said something 3,000 or some other crazy number, and I think the next one might be the Roosters or something. And I'm just like, and we know this as fans, right? We can get down the other end. We can our forward pack, when they get a roll on, we can steamroll anybody. That is not our problem. That is not a problem in the team. We can get down there. The other problem is we just can't connect it up. We can't connect those dots. How last year, how we just connected up the dots almost too easily against some teams sometimes. We just can't do it. Haven't done it all season. Sorry. We've scored a couple of tries. You know what I mean? Tanya, last season, even some of the losses were something to be... Yeah, Tanya, good point. Last season, even some of the losses were something to be celebrated because of the effort. You're talking about effort, eh, Tanya? You're talking about effort, you're talking about desire, you're talking about passion, you're talking about fighting, you're talking about the togetherness, and then you come up against like a Roosters or a Storm, and we just lost, and it's just like, yep, that's us. That's a solid performance. We can handle that as fans. We lost, but yes, you guys bled everything for those 80 minutes. You guys bled for everything.
Hold your head high.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah. And like, again, when you look at last year and the amount of times where we'd be down to 12 men and still score tries, and it was just like, wow, that was entertaining, kind of. because it's easy to flick into that mindset of we're a player down, the opposition are going to score. And yeah, they did score a couple of times, but the fact that we were scoring tries and we were down
Man,
to, and it happened
that's a
more than
good point.
once.
That's a good
And it
point,
was
Tom.
just like, man, I don't think I've seen it at all this season. Where we've lost a player, whatever. Again, it was just like, well, was that just a fluke? Because I
No,
don't think it was.
no,
It
you
was
can't fluke. You
it
can't
was
fluke a
well
try.
structured.
You can't fluke a try with 12 players.
Mm.
At the moment, we're fluking
And it
tries with
happens
13
so
players.
often.
Yeah,
Like if it happens
yeah,
once, it's a fluke. But this was happening regularly. It wasn't a
yeah.
fluke.
Mm.
Um,
So does Uncle go back to the drawing board? Because it's obvious he was trying to keep those set plays that worked for us last year and carry it on for this year, but it just hasn't worked, And so does Uncle go back to the drawing board and start again, start from scratch, come up with new plays or whatever, and try and implement them rolling into next year, starting this Friday, whatever it is,
do you think?
or
Do you think our plays are the
Sunday,
problem?
sorry, Sunday.
Or
Um, Good question, bro. Oh man.
more questions than answers. Whilst you're
I
thinking
got
about that, oh, sorry, bro.
I've got a thing to that. I feel like part of it is like I'm still trying to figure it out. We know one certain play. We see it every single week, but I'm still trying to figure out what some of the other ones are. But I
Yeah.
will have to say, and again, for me, I raise it because I saw it on the weekend, is that I think it 100% is execution. A lot of it too. Like again, when I say when Sean Johnson straightened up, we look like we had people being able to like flow on like last year, And not to say it's just been him, but I feel like a lot of the problem that's been is like, we get a good roll on, and then when we get there, fuck, it's like we can't execute our shape on the line for some reason. So part of me thinks, yes, plays, because I still don't know what they all are, because we've been confused a little bit this year, but I think big part of it is execution. Because if you watch Panthers, I don't see them doing nothing different. Like they do the same shit they probably do every single year, but they fucking execute it to a T. So is it the play potentially? But I feel like our execution has been missing heavy, like mostly for me.
I just wanna touch on Zach Bruv's comment here. He says, I remember one game they played it. It was fifth tackle, and I think I remember this game too, in the red zone, and Lussick goes to Barnett instead of Tamaito Martin. Ah, good hell, bro. Yeah,
On the fifth tackle.
I remember that. I remember that.
Dude. Good times, eh?
Good time. Good times, man.
Hey, maybe I just want to little open that up. Obviously Lussick started
Hey,
and Eager went to the bench. How do we think? I thought Lussick did relatively well, but I'm like, that was an interesting one to like take off our main hooker, and he didn't come on for a while. I don't know what the decision was there. Maybe they wanted Lussick to go against his brother and make sure he's the toughest. I don't know. I don't know.
well, I think I know who won that one. Just on
I
that,
was
actually.
kind of hoping that.
Go on, bro.
Kind of hoping that when Egan did get on the field, that he would have fucking kind of proven Webby wrong. This is why I deserve to start, but I didn't see any of that.
I was about to say something along the same vein. Whilst we're on the topic of the bro, mate, everyone who's played in that in those jerseys have gotten it this season. So I haven't really said much about Egan, but there was a point there where Egan was almost, I wouldn't say unstoppable. Like I'm not putting him up there with the greats, with the great hookers or anything. But there was one game or maybe two games here where bro's going out of dummy half, deep, drawing in marker, drawing in one. Little pass to someone else, a little bit inside, little shimmy. He was making some meters in one or two of those games this season. I was just like, bro, this guy's got a little rocket under him. Maybe he wants to deli him this year, but I just haven't seen it this season. Aside from those one or two games.
Yeah.
But I could say that about a couple of other players as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's not just one guy that hasn't performed.
I don't. And
I tend to agree with what Ty said too. Sorry, Ty. I tend to agree with what he was saying about execution. Those little 1%ers, and just believing, just knowing that it's going to work. We got to execute it to the absolute ninth degree, kind of thing, and know that it's going to work regardless.
Yeah.
And maybe the boys are caught in that headspace of like, bro, we've tried this so many times and shit's not working. But like even the mistakes kind of thing, when the mistakes creep in and the doubt starts to set, and it's just like,
I wonder if there's a stat. I wonder if there's a stat, and like because like not all mistakes are created equal, but it seems like it's not just this season, last season, a couple other seasons. We love to do mistakes at the most crucial times where you cannot be doing those mistakes. You know,
Yeah.
we're 5 meters away from the line, and I used to come on here and like smash old Ford, right? Because for some reason Ford would love to get that short ball, have a little pick up and drop it, or you go into contact and it'll pop out or something, right? But I wonder if there's a stat where it's just like someone's gone through and gone the most crucial times where you shouldn't be making mistakes, and I wonder if we're at number one.
Surely
make
we're
you
top
wonder.
5 for that one.
yeah,
But
I reckon.
But just going back to Egan, I think I didn't really notice him in the second half that much as well. But I think one of the things that I really noticed about him last year was that not really his attack, but his defense. Like if you watch a lot of tries, like even if they scored the opposition, he was trying to gun it there. You know, he was actually trying to move from the middle, try and get to the wing, and try and be the like guy trying to save the day. Like there was a lot of times, if you actually look at last year, he was trying to save the day. I can't remember much times like seeing that with him. And not to say there wasn't, because I wasn't actually keeping an eye on this year, but it was just really noticeable last year compared to this year. So that's one thing. And then just going back to the execution thing, I think one thing that I noticed in the weekend was that why I say execution too wasn't just necessarily the passing or that. But I want to touch on Johnson, but not just him. I think this has actually been problem of the halves, but I saw it on the weekend, is that a lot of us like to drift with the ball. What I noticed with the Eels, and I started being the guy on the sideline, I was shouting it out, and I was like, "Fuck, it happened again!" But we wouldn't straighten up, and the Eels would just automatically drift. So if you notice, a lot of our plays, we kind of get to a space where we don't have any space on the side, and then we're just kind of getting manned up and running into a tackler.
Yeah.
That wasn't really happening last year. We were like getting the overlap and seeing
Yeah.
space. Where if you watch the game in the weekend, especially the first half, they were just automatically sliding. They were just sliding, and then we were just running into defense. So when I talk about execution, it's not just the on the ball stuff, but it's all the off the ball stuff or the preparation stuff. We lacked preparation, execution this year, which is strange to just fall off a cliff like that.
Yeah, heck yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I know this is supposed to be not a funeral service, but talking about how season's over. But I feel like we've done the eulogy now. Maybe we need to talk about something positive. I don't know.
So let's talk about this week's game, eh? This weekend's game. The Dolphins. The Dolphins. Sunday. It's a Sunday game too. It's like, oh, sure.
Fins up.
I reckon, damn. So where are the Finns? Where are the Finns on the ladder? Oh, they're sitting ninth.
Yeah, they're around there.
Yeah, St. George at 8, Dolphins at 9. Oh my goodness. Woo. Okay. This is going to be interesting. And it's their home game, Suncorp.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It was because Suncorp Stadium was the old, the Cauldron, back in the day and I think for that it was called the Cauldron for a reason, they and those fans love it, so. Sorry, Nick, we were just rolling into this weekend's game.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
We
Who are you playing anyway? I don't even know.
The Dolphins, my bro. Dolphins at home. At their home. So yeah. Well, you can guarantee there's going to be a big crowd for starters. So
yeah. Hopefully some Warriors fans still.
Yeah, bro. Oh my goodness. 4:00 kickoff. And they're ninth. They're ninth on the ladder. So yeah. Oh my goodness.
They could be last on the ladder, bro. They could be second to last like the Eels. They could be
But that's what I mean. Easier. This will be one of these games where we turn on its head and beat the Buggers. And it's just like, where the fuck was that game last weekend?
It's just gonna piss me off even more.
I think I
Yeah.
feel more confident versing a team that's above us than below us.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
And there's not many
exactly,
below us
bro.
anymore.
Yeah.
Nope.
The four below us.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Yeah. But you just can't be confident, even if those four that are below us, if they were the last four games for us, I'd be worried, man.
I'll be so
Yeah,
worried.
every single game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Heck yeah. Be like, come on, fuck.
Mhm.
Anyway, the Dolphins. Oh man, do we dare predict?
We gotta
gonna come up
predict.
with-
We have to predict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I've been
my
consistent in
goodness.
getting them wrong, so what's another week?
Yeah. Actually, before we do that, bro, how's the fantasy league stuff going, Nick?
Oh,
Who's on top?
let's
4
have a
rounds to go. Yeah, let's have a
look.
good laugh.
Let's have a laugh, man.
Because I'm pretty sure I'm holding the bottom, bro. I've anchored the bottom.
Nice.
Bro, you're holding
Someone's
it
got to
down.
do it, bro.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah,
you're holding it down for the bros at the bottom.
yeah.
All right,
Right.
let's have a look. We've got Snake Point Whackers, David B at top spot. Ty used to be at the top 10, but now he's 11th.
Yeah,
Still there, bro. Still in touch.
15 to 17 rounds. Oh, bro, they were bad for me.
And we got Real. We got Real D at number
Yeah.
116.
Woo!
And we got Tana W at 115. So, bro, you holding up the bottom for us, bro.
Nice.
Nice.
You've got
Tanya?
all our backs.
Yeah, we got all of it.
Yeah.
Tanya, if you're watching, you are number 108 and I'm 107, so I'm only just above you. And Damien, I've got no idea where you are.
I'm about 64th, I think.
Yeah.
Still not fucking flash, bro.
Doing better than us, bro, down the bottom. So yeah, anyone watching, so thanks so much for joining in on our fantasy. It's just all a little bit of fun, but
Definitely.
yeah.
Mm.
Okay, here we go. Zach's already jumped in with his score prediction, 40-0 to the Warriors.
Yeah. Fuck, I'd love to see that. Fuck,
I
I'd
don't
love
think-
to see it.
reckon.
I don't think it's
So
in
we'll
the
take
DNA.
that.
I don't think it's in the bloody Finn's DNA to score no points. They must average 20, 30 points a game.
Mm.
Or from what I've seen anyway. I don't watch all the games.
Yeah.
I'll jump in. I've jumped on the form guide for like no reason at all, really. Oh, they took an L from the Dragons. Fuck. They took an L from the Dragons,
So did we.
26-6. So did we.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
So did we.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last week game was crazy. Like, look at the points.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Roosters 34-40. Yeah, yeah. Titans lost, Panthers lost. All right, I'll go in. You know, I said last week we're going to score heaps of tries, and I just can't see where heaps of tries are coming from. Don't know if it's the left, don't know if it's the right. You know what I thought might have happened when we're on those on their line last week a couple of times? Is the classic short ball to AFB try. But it didn't come. He didn't get it.
No.
He wasn't interested. He wasn't interested in running that tonight on the weekend. Okay, I'm going to go 18-12. 18-12 Warriors.
2.
Warriors.
Nice.
Gotta
Nice, my
keep the
bro.
faith. Gotta keep the
Gotta
faith.
keep the faith.
18-12
Absolutely,
Warriors.
bro.
Oh yeah, look guys, I know we're sounding like grumpy old men on this bloody show, but we're not going anywhere. It's not like we're gonna go and jump and start up fucking Dolphins fan TV or anything.
No,
Our team's still our team. Tahi, bro, 14-0. It hurts, bro. It hurts. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. Warriors 15, Dolphins 14. Yeah, I'll take that.
Sure.
I'll take that.
Sure.
Still a win.
Tanya,
Still a win.
80. Oh, sorry, 80. 30-8. 30-8 Finns. Tanya, do you reckon we're going to lose? Yeah, Tanya's flipped on us. Tanya's flipped on us. She has flipped, I think. Yeah.
Fins up, Tans.
Fins up, Tans. 8 points to us, 30 to them.
Yeah.
Sounds believable. Zach 40-0 the other way around. Zach bro, he says 40-0 the other way around, crying face.
Oh,
that's
Tahi
tough.
14-12 Finns, unfortunately. Damn. Hey, Fano, you got to
Ooh.
call it as it is.
yeah.
Got to call it as it is.
Yep. If you guys don't want to be Warriors fans, that's okay.
The thing is, bro, the thing is, they are Warriors fans and they watch every
Yeah,
week of it, so they know.
right, mate. They're probably half the years too, you know?
Yeah.
14, Greg
I
15,
reckon.
14.
Some are just speaking with their mind instead of their heart.
That's
Like
Yeah,
it, that's
yeah,
it.
I am kind
yeah.
of.
Yeah, they are, bro.
They've
Oh,
done the
respect.
analysis, bro. They've done their homework.
They've watched
I'll go
enough
next,
games
eh?
this season. Anyone,
Sure,
bro.
bro.
Yeah,
Anyone.
I'll go next. I'm gonna go 32. Man, I just want to actually, 32. 32-26 Warriors. Heaps
32,
of points, heaps of tries.
26.
Nice.
Completely in dreamland, but hey, dreams are free.
Dreams are free, baby.
Yeah. Highly entertaining.
I'll jump in next. I'm going to go for the mighty fucking Warriors to win 24-16. Fins
Yo.
up, motherfuckers.
Nice, bro.
I'm just writing these
Nice.
all down because I do want to do a post up later. Tahi, bro, 14-12 Finns, unfortunately. Okay, cut by, bro, 14-12. That's all good.
Sure.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Mm,
That was Tahi. Kia ora
mm.
Tahi. Kia ora Tans. Who else is on there? Kia ora Zach. Anyone else? Kia ora Greg. Yep, we've got all your guys' scores all written down. Anyone else at home that's got any other scores going on?
Mm. I was just
Right.
thinking, bro.
You bro.
Like, just before Ty gives us his prediction, maybe these last 4 rounds, see if those fellas that are Tahi
Yeah.
in the crew, see if they want to jump on or whatever, kind of chuck them in,
If
give
any
them.
if any of you guys want to jump on, if you guys are still listening at home, if you guys want to jump on last 4 rounds, send us over a little DM on the old Facebook. Look me up, Nick Manarangi. Don't know how to spell that. Look it up. No, Nick Manarangi, Manarangi. Go send me over a DM over on the old Facebook. Yeah, and it's just a link into Zoom, and you guys can jump on here for a Kōrero if you guys are up for it. You've seen
chuck
Nice.
them in, bro.
You've seen what we do.
Yeah.
Chuck 'em in.
Rubbish.
We'll be gentle.
None of this is polished.
Yeah.
None of it's polished or anything. We
Yeah.
just go off script. So if you guys are keen, you guys at home, koutou ki te kāinga, no mai haere mai. If you guys want to come on next week, all goods.
Nice.
Can I do 2 scores?
Bro, you can do bro, you can do
Hey.
5
Is this one
scores if
for
you
the
want
head,
to,
one
bro.
for the heart?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It legit is.
Oh, bro. You can't do it, man.
Put five each way, bro.
You know what that means, eh?
Because my heart says,
Yes.
I'm legit. Nah, my heart was going Warriors, but my mind's going Dolphins. And the only reason I say that is because I think we might see Master Coach Bennett come out because they need a win. They need a win. They're 2 points away.
Yeah.
I think he's going to G them up, and we might see what it means to create a desperate team. So I'm going to go Dolphins to win at 26-20. But obviously, I want the Warriors to win.
Sure, bro.
That's a very good point, Ty. You might see the Master do what Master does.
Yeah, man.
And just G these guys up and get in our faces. So on what you said before, bro, about how Eels got in our faces and we didn't really do much, we might just copy and paste that. Copy and paste that, bro.
Just see the boys come out with a bit of mongrel, eh? And it's like it's the last 4 rounds. Fuck it, just fucking put some passion in their jersey,
Exactly.
and play for your mate and fucking start smashing teams. Smash these last 4 teams. We're not going to make the 8, but let's make a statement heading into next season. Let's fucking make it hard for them. The Dolphins. Who else? Who else we got? The Finns, the fucking Doggies, Manly, Shuckies. Yeah. Let's just stick it to those last 4 teams.
We could definitely upset the Dolphins and the Eagles because those could be losses where they drop out.
That'd be nice too.
Towards the end of the season, they could it could have been those 2 points that they needed from us. So to drop
Yeah.
out, like the Eels are just going to do that to everybody else.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Play the
yeah,
spoiler.
exactly.
Hey,
Yeah.
at least in 5 weeks we get a win.
Get some points.
Yeah, I reckon, eh? Right.
Richard says, I wouldn't bet on us at all, but I hope we can win. Tanya says we should do an end of season party. Love your thinking there, Tans. Have a few drinkies.
Sure.
Have a few drinkies on the live. Tahi says that's exactly it. Bennett finishing with the Dolphins will be making a statement. Fuck.
Mm,
Yep.
mm,
Kelly,
that's
28-10,
exactly right.
up the Warriors. Kia ora, Kelly. I'll write your one down too.
Nice.
Sure.
28-10.
Sure.
Was, and that was Kelly. That's been us. Over. Our season's over. Any closing Kōrero, gents?
Mm. Go the fucking Warriors.
So the fucking
Actually-
Warriors.
Fucking
Oh,
Warriors. Yeah.
actually-
Shout out to
Fucking
Sean Johnson.
Warriors.
Yeah.
Sean, thanks for all
Yeah.
all of your service over the years. Mate, you brought us some highlight reels that we're going to be showing our grandkids.
I
So
reckon.
being a servant, but
Absolutely.
you tried your best. Look, we all love you for it.
Yeah.
Um,
And wherever the road takes him from here, whatever he's doing next, if it's the podcast stuff,
good on him.
then good luck to him. Yeah, good on him. Good luck
on
to
him.
him. I hope he makes a real good
I'd-
go of it, kind of thing.
I'd love it if he went into commentary. Eh? He did such an impressive
Yeah,
job
I
when he
know.
was doing
I
some
agree.
commentary last season, I think it was. He's just got
Internationals.
such a good voice, eh?
It's the
Good brain for it.
Yeah, he was doing international
Yeah.
commentary, I think, wasn't he? That one game.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I agree.
All right, fine. Up the Warriors. Let's go. Up the cup team.
All right.
We've got a chance of actually taking out the cup this season. I think.
Nice.
So
That'd
up
be
the
awesome.
cup team. I don't know who they've got.
Yeah.
And let's go Warriors. Honestly,
All
let's go. Let's try and get some money back in this jersey, guys. Just
right.
try. Even if we lose against the Dolphins, like we've already said on this show many times, we just want to see effort. We just want to see passion. We just want to see desire. Want to see brothers fighting for each other. We don't want to
Yeah,
see a
man.
repeat of what we saw on Friday night. That was disgraceful. So, and show these coaches why you want to have that jersey for next year. Egan, if it's a case of little bros coming in to take your spot, what are you going to do about it?
I know.
Yeah.
Well said.
What's done is done. Hey, what's
Yep.
done is done.
Yep.
Let's just finish on a high note.
That's us.
Please.
Yeah,
Nick
please.
Please finish on a high note.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
No.
Have a good one, eh? Mate wa.
Yeah, bro.
Sure, bro.
Have an awesome week.
Shot, bro.
Yeah.
Up the fucking wires.
Oh, the fuck.